this week, the White House announced they're going to handpick which media outlets are allowed in the presidential press pool. Now, the Washington Post owner and multi-billionaire Jeff Bezos said he's retooling the opinion section of the paper to reflect opinions he agrees with. Isn't that censorship? One Post editor already resigned over this. His name is David Shipley. So, and I don't know that that helps. If you resign, you have no power at all.
Did he say it was only things he agreed with?
Well, he
basically,
said, he actually said the opinion section would embrace personal liberties and free markets. And basically those opinions that disagreed with personal liberties and free markets, whatever he means by that, they can find elsewhere to write about.
So wait a minute, so if you're against, you're only pro-free markets, that would justify them firing all these federal workers?
I think that's
you
what
could
it
not
means.
Write about that in the paper, that this is an outrageous thing to do?
It seems that way. I'm not sure. I think we'll get further clarification. But what I will say is, I mean, he came up with that buzz line, you know, democracy dies in darkness.
He took it away.
So he has taken that away. I'm sort of surprised by it. I wonder what the ramifications will be, right? Because will people now cancel their subscriptions to the Washington Post?
We already do in hordes after
in hordes. And so there may be repercussions. I mean, I know today, on Friday, there's been calls for a blackout economically, this economic blackout. And, you know, I tend to speak with my dollars. I do. Because if this is a world that's all about business and free markets, then I have the freedom to choose not to do something, to choose not to spend my dollars. I don't know if that's going to happen. But I wonder if it will.
I'll see.
Well, and what surprised me, actually, is the Washington Post has a very representative editorial board and opinion section. They have Republican voices. George Will's one of their longest-running columnists, who I'm a huge fan of. Mark Thiessen is also a right-of-center columnist.
Eugene Robinson.
So so they're not. It's not like they were only platforming liberal voices, but it's had the unintended side effect of making some of their best journalists leave. And journalism, not opinion, has been the lifeblood of the Washington Post since the Woodward days, since Phil Rucker, Ashley Parker, Josh Dawsey, their star reporters from the first Trump administration, have all fled to different outlets, I would think largely in part because of these changes that are coming. It just goes against like the ethos of the journalism should be objective, but opinion should kind of be all-inclusive.
Well, you mentioned the Woodward days. Well, simultaneously, as this is all happening, Trump is vowing to sue people over anonymous sources, journalists. That, to me, is the scariest part, because you look at Watergate and Deep Throat, and none of that would happen if someone didn't have that anonymity to come forward. And that's what journalists rely on.
It's an invaluable tool.
Yeah, it is an invaluable tool. Otherwise, no one speaks up because they fear retribution. So what you're doing is you already have companies and people everywhere that are protected from litigious action through NDAs and ethics clauses and everything. To remove this from journalism, which is the fourth estate, the one that's supposed to be able to share things, to me, that's the most dangerous of what they're speaking of.
Ariana, want to say?
Yeah, no. This whole thing, and it's an attack on freedom of the press.
That's right.
It's them pushing their own narrative, like by choosing which journalists have access to this administration, to the President of the United States. They're narrowing the viewpoint. So you only get the information that they want you to have. There's no transparency, and that is going to be a problem in this country.
And it's also unconstitutional,
It's unconstitutional.
isn't it?
And right now, if you look at the state of the nation, there are not many checks or balances. Look at the Supreme Court. Look at what's going on in Congress and in the Senate. This next attack on the press, it's all a larger plan. And I just really hope we all can wake up and see that to be a fact. That is not an opinion. These are facts.
And by the way, with the White House press pool restricting who's covering, it is because the president wants to have people who are writing favorable coverage cover him, so it can be used as sort of a bargaining chip. Oh, you did a good piece, you can come on Air Force One, you can be in the pool that day.
He's so thin-skinned. And then he sings Macho Man.
Well, but I would say, my caution to him is this: journalists, if anything, are very entrepreneuring. You don't need John Karl or Bob Woodward to be physically in the White House to uncover scandal, to work with sources they've worked over decades, to actually tell the public what's happening there. So those things are still going to get out, but it's the optics of this is just simply like, it's just anti-First Amendment.